Hello, I'm Jeremy Moore, CEO of Storystorm.co. I want to welcome you to our first ever virtual demonstration. Today, we'll be conducting a short test session with our web app and charting a path to future growth. Storystorm grew out of necessity. Last summer, I found myself in the process of self-publishing a visual novel. Along the way, I met other like-minded creatives who were deeply unsatisfied with the story building process. The resources they need to self-publish things like comics, manga, and webtoons are either too complicated to use or too expensive to purchase. These creatives are also spending a lot of time searching for the elements that will later go into their storytelling workflow. Simply put, it's our mission to take all the elements that these non-professional creators are currently scavenging for and integrate them into an easy-to-use, affordable web app. The tools in the current creative marketplace that empower users to create high-quality visual stories require years of training to use. As you can see, we're building a storytelling solution for non-professional creatives because there is a massive gap in the marketplace. So now that you're familiar with Storystorm, I want to introduce you to the people who made it possible. After that, our valued guests will take our MVP for a spin. We'll wrap up with a brief presentation that will outline what we can deliver our customers in the future. Harlan Reed was gracious enough to be the first beta tester for our story making system. I first came into contact with Harlan after he responded to a social media ad. I really enjoyed hearing about Harlan and his creative journey during our interview for the ICAP program last winter. He's a multi-talented creative who has always wanted to publish a comic. We're excited to have you, Harlan, and thanks again. Your time and feedback are very important to us. I've already introduced myself. However, I wouldn't be in a position to do so if it weren't for the valiant efforts of our Chief Technical Officer, Kobe Heacock, and our Chief Creative Officer, Trinity Choice. You should know that we are all target customers for Storystorm, and we have the talent, tools, and determination to make this product really important in the lives of our customers. We wouldn't be where we are today without our trusted advisors. Our team would like to personally thank Irfan Ali and Tess Rollins for the excellent counsel and support they've given us so far. It's been quite the ride, and we're grateful to have you on board. Harlan, on the next slide, you'll see a URL. When you see the link, go ahead and open a web browser and type it into the search bar.
All right, I am doing so right now.
Awesome. I'm going to stop my screen share. And Harlan, whenever you feel comfortable, go ahead and start sharing your screen.
All right, so here, I'll open it up on my Mac so I can share my screen easier.
Thanks.
All right, I got it up. It says screen sharing is disabled, so.
Oh, my apologies.
It happens to the best of us on Zoom.
Can you try again?
Yeah, sure. There we go. All right, everybody see everything all right?
Yep, you can.
All right.
Awesome. So we see ourselves as guides, shepherding our users through the story making process. We know that customers already know which medium they want to tell their story. Therefore, we want to get them into their workflow as fast as possible. You'll find a number of mediums on this page listed as tiles. In the future, we want to empower users to build stories in these mediums. Harlan, go ahead and select the manga tile.
Oh, I'm excited.
So this is the dashboard. And as you can see, we are creating a space where users can easily get art, edit that art, plan a story, collaborate with professional artists and other users, and share their content. Harlan, you'll find that your workspace is already populated with an artboard. In later versions, you would get a blank artboard by dragging it from the storyboard section down into the canvas.
So by dragging one of these storyboards into Canvas here?
So not at this time, but
Okay.
we populated it for you this time, but definitely in later versions, users will get their canvas from actually the storyboard section, which is up top.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see.
So now that you have an artboard to work off of, you can go to the import section, which is on your left, and start dragging over image assets to your canvas. You can choose any image assets you want, but we populated the system with enough images to create a scene of an astronaut dancing in space. Because this is a very early version of the app, some features are not yet available. And I'm going to go ahead and stop. So there, definitely want you to play around with it, Harlan. Tell us what you're thinking so far.
Is there any sizing functionality at the moment?
Not at the moment. We definitely want to implement that relatively soon. And if you'd like to reset your artboard, you can go ahead and just refresh your browser.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at that. I love this concept so far, as it is very like I always think of the term plug and play. And I like that.
Awesome. I'm glad you like it. We definitely want to build something you can use, long term. And we taken a lot of time to take your feedback and a lot more customers' feedback. So
the text is editable. So the objects might act like the text if you want to mess with that a little bit.
Ah, okay. I see.
Yeah, and that's Colby Harlan.
and hi, I'm Colby. And the objects, I didn't get to convert them into fabric.js objects yet. And when I can, you would drag and drop them and be able to use them just like that hello world thing. And the top left pane is different from the others. So you're using the panes how you would in a layout design mode, but that on the top left is going to act more like a normal pane where you can't drag it and things clip inside of it when you move them around.
I see. And I like to hear you can change yeah, that's nice. That's cool. So I definitely see where you guys are getting at. Like, I know I'm tempering a lot of things that I'm thinking because I know it's in beta.
Yeah, exactly.
But I could definitely see where this is going for sure.
Yeah, your feedback, Harlan's been critical so far. We appreciate you taking the time to give us some feedback here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If this is where you want feedback, I definitely have some thoughts right off the bat. Like I said, I like this a lot. I know I could honestly see myself using this personally, where if there's a functionality which I'm assuming there will be, to import my own assets and just plug and place into these built-in canvases. Yes. That'd be pretty cool and pretty useful. Is it okay if I go back to like that main page we had here?
Yeah.
The podcast series and film storyboarding really intrigues me as well. Because those are things that I don't think are naturally taught when you're studying art or when you're studying production. So it's really cool that those resources are there. That's, once again, something that I would use. I'm working on a podcast with a friend. Like, every single thing on here is something super useful. I'm curious what design an object is.
So eventually, yeah. Well, and also, if you're familiar with CAD and engineering, we want to create a space where, an average user should come in and design a new product using images, like importing images, potentially 3D images or whatnot. But that would be for a product, let's say backpack or a stand or anything.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I'm familiar with AutoCAD. Yeah, if it works anything like that, yeah, that's sick. Wow, this is cool.
Yeah, we want to simplify that AutoCAD concept to make it so that if you wanted to design a new fork, you could, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And what the nice thing too is I was a little bit worried about, just from the general description, that it would eliminate a lot of the creative process. So like, if it's somebody like me who's making my own assets, who's making my own artwork, that it would feel a little bit inherently limited. But I can just tell right off the bat that it's not limiting. It's like you're saying, it's just enhancing that process, and it's making it a lot easier to do. So I like that aspect, as long as it's like, no matter whether it is the podcasting or this, that it really allows the user to input a lot of what they want into it. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. That's what we're going for. Maximum creativity. We don't want to limit that in any way.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Harlan. Could you go ahead and stop sharing your screen?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Go ahead and start sharing mine. All right. Thank you so much again, Harlan. Your insights are extremely valuable to us. Now I want to share with you a little bit about what comes next for Storystorm.co, because we're always going to be looking to the future to see if we can innovate in meaningful ways. Storystorm was inspired by independent creatives that have trouble publishing custom visual stories, so they are an ideal customer for us. During our customer discovery, we interview people whose job it is to explain complex concepts to large audiences. They told us that they find visual stories to be extremely effective teaching tools. Many companies struggle with sharing their individual stories. We are exploring ways in which Storystorm can boost marketing and internal messaging efforts for small and large companies. The independent creatives we interviewed have a deep desire to share stories. They connect with this form of expression on a deep emotional level. If you have a long-standing creative or athletic outlet, no doubt you'll understand the need they feel and the desire to fulfill it. The thrust of our efforts in the educational space have to do with educators crafting custom visual stories to teach students tough subjects. Our customer interviewees tell us that when complex subject matter is expressed in narrative form, students retain information better. Businesses of all sizes have incredible stories. Our narrative building app strives to help large and small businesses with intuitive tools and an access to authentic story-making process. Earlier, before Harlan began the beta test, I talked about the different mediums we would empower users to build stories in. This is the area of our site where users will be able to do that. I want to direct your attention to the bottom left area of the screen. This medium is called an instant story. It's a new way to share visual stories across the web. Essentially, we're working to allow our users to build and share entire web pages that will receive display as visual stories. We can allow our users to easily craft immersive visual narratives that can instantly be shared with anyone around the world. Instant stories can be animated, illustrated, and contain video content. Will be built exclusively on the Storystorm.co web app. Will be completely customized and powered by the same technology that allows our users to build manga. Will be sent to the other users as a text message, email link, or can be opened on any device with a web browser. And will be lightning fast and instantly create an immersive experience for the recipient. Today, we're building a tool that will allow our users to build custom manga. However, stories come in many forms, and the more mediums we can empower users to build stories in, the more we can grow. Thank you for attending today's demo. Storystorm would not exist without the incredible community it strives to serve. We sincerely appreciate your support and feedback. It is our absolute pleasure to be able to build something that enriches people's lives. Please visit the link at the bottom of this slide to send us any questions you have about today's demo, inquire about joining our team, or learn how you can help us grow. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
So Harlan, you were kind of a day one customer. I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to stop my share if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Go for it. But yeah, you already have a permanent customer, no doubt.
Awesome, man. I'm going to stop recording too, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.